Good evening. Welcome to Judson ISD Facebook Live. I'm Jeanette Ball, the superintendent for Judson ISD. We are so excited to have you join us tonight as we try to answer as many questions as possible that our parents have. Tonight, I have several senior staff members here with me. I'd like for them to introduce themselves.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rebecca Robinson, and I am the Deputy Superintendent for Teaching and Learning.
Hi, my name is Cecilia Davis, and I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Fields, Deputy Superintendent of Operations and Administration.
Judson ISD is committed to making sure our parents are aware of what is happening in our district. We have spent lots of time planning for the upcoming school year. Tonight, we are going to answer some questions. Many individuals have already submitted their questions, and we will start with answering those questions that have been presented already. In addition, if time permits, we will answer additional questions. We also like to remind you that we are putting out a parent newsletter every Friday with additional information, and we will be doing this segment again next week. So please stay tuned for the next 45 minutes so we can help you answer as many questions. Our first question is, how is ROTC going to work? Do they have the same activities and opportunities as the students that are face-to-face? Any student, regardless if you choose virtual or face-to-face, will have the opportunity to participate in any and all activities. That includes UIL activities such as athletics, fine arts, ROTC, and many others. So regardless if you choose face-to-face or virtual, you will be able to participate.
Question number 2. For those that choose to do face-to-face for their kids, will there still be a junior high orientation, a tour of the school? How will we do Meet the Teacher? The campus, along with the teachers, will be hosting a virtual back-to-school Meet the Teacher night. Each campus and their teachers will be sending out information soon, so you will be able to actually have a conversation with your teachers on Meet the Teacher night. In addition, we are also posting a campus safety plan for each campus in our district. Inside the plan, you will find the campus maps along with vital information about the campus. This information should be part of your orientation to the campus. Keep in mind that in early February and March, we did have our campus registrations, and so we had a great opportunity to tour our campuses.
The next question that we received asks, can you please show us a sample schedule? Absolutely. We have posted our district sample schedules on our Return to Learn website. If you visit our website, you can scroll on the left-hand side. The third link from the bottom shows you very detailed district schedules. Now, please keep in mind, every campus is going to publish their personal schedule, as these can vary between campuses. So stay tuned. Your campus is going to send you your personalized child schedule, but you can view the district schedules on our www.judsonISD.org Return to Learn website. Thank you.
The next question's kind of compound. It says, when will we know what a typical day would look like? What mandatory precautions will take place for face-to-face school day before we make our decision? How does this apply to special needs children? How about physical activity? How about the ages for masks? Are they mandatory? And what accommodations for special needs as well? So you almost want to divide this between elementary, middle, and high school. I would say the typical day for an elementary school would be first students show up and come into the building one by one. As they come into the building, they'll have to put on hand sanitizer, and then they'll be escorted to their classrooms in position 6 feet apart, and then they'll actually enter the classroom around 7 o'clock. All students at the elementary level will receive their breakfast and lunch in the classroom. They'll have scheduled restroom breaks to go to the bathroom, and then they will be involved in part of the cleanup of the classroom as well. At the middle school level, there'll probably be a grab-and-go breakfast in the morning, and then how the principal chooses to administer lunch at lunchtime, and then the same thing at the high school level. I would tell you at the end of the day, at the elementary, middle, and high school, there's going to be cascade or staggered releases, which will allow for the students to exit without everyone exiting at the same time. Most likely the walkers, the students who walk to school and walk home, will be released first, and then as buses arrive, then those students will be released afterwards.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am?
The next question is, who qualifies for face-to-face classes after September the 4th under the Safe Haven classification? Please keep in mind that as of now, we are planning of having the Safe Haven opportunity for our students. We continue to monitor this, but I also want parents to be aware that this could change based on the numbers of COVID-19. A student could qualify for the Safe Haven if maybe they fit one of these categories. A student does not have the connectivity, Wi-Fi at home. A student is also in our special ed service, it receives special ed services. A student is of a home that both parents work or of the military.
The next question is, will we get confirmation of our student schedules and that they were enrolled in the designated platforms we chose? When will login and any additional information be provided? We are currently running a final parent survey right now. The survey went out on Monday, last night, and it'll run all the way to Monday, August the 17th. Based on that information, then we will know exactly which platform each family chose for each one of their children. Based on that, then we will be collecting that information, providing that to the campuses, and then we will go ahead and issue out the schedules. The district is transitioning right now into a new system called Frontline. We are waiting for the last step in order to be able to provide the student schedules, especially at the middle and at the high schools. We hope that we can provide this information to you, if not by the end of the week, by Monday of next week.
In the event of an absence, how does my student make up the class? The great thing about our remote learning opportunities is that your student actually has until 11:59 p.m. of that day to log into the learning management system, which here we are using Canvas, in order to show academic progress. If your child submits an assignment, views a pre-recorded lesson, and demonstrates through the learning management system that they have made academic progress or makes contact with the teacher to discuss academics, your child is actually marked present. We have many live, virtual, synchronous learning opportunities for your students that we would love for all of them to take advantage of it, but we understand that there are times when the student will not be able to make the synchronous courses. That is where your child can take advantage of the learning management system to submit their assignment later throughout the day.
The next question is, are elementary students still expected to not use backpacks for a number of weeks once face-to-face learning resumes on campus? School supplies are at least 3 heavy full plastic bags that children are required to bring water bottles and Chromebooks and lunch along with them to school. Please discuss and reconsider this issue. All students will be allowed to use backpacks when we start school. What we will ask is that the student keep the backpack with them. In previous years, students would come into the classroom and place the backpack up front along with the others. At this point, we'll probably ask them to keep it at their chair with themselves or at their seat with themselves. That way we don't have cross-contamination. But all students will be allowed to use their backpacks.
I have the next question. How will the school day look for Safe Haven students? I'd like to make it clear that there's two distinctions, one of them being for special ed students. The special ed students' day will look very similar to what they had before, meeting all their IEP needs. For our regular ed students, please keep in mind that this is not face-to-face instruction. What this is a safe place for the student to go and work, be able to access the internet, and be able to work off their virtual instruction. Though we will be creating a schedule that provides flexibility, so it will have breakfast and lunch, activities that will keep them social distance, but at the same time giving them the opportunity to move around and be able to stretch.
I have the next question. If the student has to go to class like dyslexia, will they log into another site, or how will these special classes work? The dyslexia teachers will be sending a link where the students can log into, and they will receive their lesson. They will continue to use the Take Flight program on their computers. We are using a new learning management system that we call Canvas, and so the dyslexia teachers will be using that platform along with Google Classroom, and sometimes we will also use Zoom, depending on the type of lesson that we have to provide.
The next question asks, do students need to be logged in by a certain time? Will that time be consecutive, or will it be split throughout the day? No, students do not have to be logged in at a certain time for their asynchronous or independent learning opportunities. But please keep in mind that we are offering many synchronous or live virtual opportunities for your child to interact with their teacher, for them to come on and engage in a lesson with their peers. And so we strongly encourage you to take a look at your campus schedule and the grade levels so that you can know and be aware of the times where we are asking your student to log on for live synchronous learning opportunities.
The next question is, how will Chromebooks be used by face-to-face students while on campus, since they are to bring them to school with them daily? Chromebooks can be used in a host of different ways. Students can access their teachers' Canvas pages while they're in class. They can use it for assignment submission in the classroom. They can use them for their digital resources, such as their textbooks. And then there's a myriad of different applications that are be used throughout the district that they can access while they're in the classroom as well. So there'll be several different ways that they'll be able to use the Chromebooks as they bring them in daily.
Okay? Will the special ed students be with their homeroom teacher and special ed teacher during the day? Will they be together in a temporary cohort or in sorts? Will they be isolated and different or pretty similar in what they were experiencing with regular face-to-face learning? I am going to assume that this question has to do with Safe Haven. So assuming that it has to do with Safe Haven, I want to let you know that this question is hard to answer because every single special ed student has their own IEP. If a student is in the Apple unit or a life skills placement, they will have something very similar to what they had prior to COVID-19. If a student is maybe in resource or a co-teach, they will have something similar, but it will be virtual. So they will still continue to have virtual instruction, and their co-teacher will be in the virtual manner. In addition, if a child is in the Safe Haven and they receive speech, they could have face-to-face instruction through speech, very similar to what I am wearing. They would be wearing a face shield and a mask. But please keep in mind, we are specializing everything for our special ed students. There is not one size fits all for special ed. What is in the child's IEP is what we will follow, and we will be doing this in various ways.
The next question. Will school counselors be available for those students that are struggling with isolation? Yes, the counselors will be available to provide services to all students. The district is actually purchasing a program called Mindful Practices. The students and the staff will be logging into the program every morning to do a wellness check on their social and emotional state. Based on the data, the counselors will be reaching out to the students that indicate that they need help.
The next question asks, will live instruction be recorded and posted later in the day for anyone who may have missed it or may need to hear the information again? Yes, that's one of the great things about Canvas, our learning management system. It offers, it has a program called Canvas Studio, which will allow teachers to record their lessons and save them in their course modules for students to access at any time. Similarly, teachers can use a variety of video conferencing tools such as Zoom or Google Meet, but everything will be stored in this one place called Canvas, and it'll become the one-stop shop for students and parents to go in, take a look at the assignments, to submit assignments, to ask questions and engage with their instructor.
The next question is, what if a student wants to do their classes in the online option, but they still want to participate in sports? All students who would like to participate in sports will be allowed to do so. You can come before school or after school, whenever the practices are. What we are asking, though, is that those students that participate in sports don't come in during the day for the athletic class if you opted for the online option. Just attend the practices before or after school.
The next question is, does military and nurses qualify for safe haven? Yes, they do. In addition, I'd like to let our parents know that we are not going to be requiring proof. What we are doing is making sure that we provide a safe place for our students that need it. What I do ask is that the parents please make sure that you fill out the survey so we can better prepare to accommodate your child. Two critical things that are needed right now is for the survey to be completed and also your registration. In addition, make sure that the Chromebook is also picked up so we can be ready to start on August the 24th.
When is the schedule going to be posted, and what would the hours be for the students in high school? If I understand correctly, the first 5 weeks are online. The district is transitioning into Frontline, and we're waiting for the last step in order for us to be able to provide you the student schedules. We hope that we can accomplish this by next Monday. We also want to share with you a sample schedule of what high school would look like. So high school would start at 8 o'clock in the morning to 8:25 to do tutoring. First period would be from 8:30 to 9:45. Second period is from 9:50 to 11:20. Third period is from 11:25 to 1:31. Fourth period is 1:36 to 3:06. And fifth period is 3:11 to 4:26. Tutoring would happen from 4:30 to 5:30. The actual remote learning is for 4 weeks, and of course we will consider the options based on what we see on September 28th.
The next question asks if we can explain a little bit more about the instructional hotline. Absolutely. We're very excited to share that upon the second week of instruction, there will be information that will be sent out regarding an instructional hotline. Basically what it is, students will have a way to connect with teachers who are on standby in the evening hours while they're working on their assignments in case they need any help. This instructional hotline will serve students K through 12, and it'll function solely in the evening hours. This is the time when we understand many parents will be working together with their younger students after work time, as well as students who may work during the day and may need help and access to an instructor in the evening.
The next question is, how are meals being distributed? There'll basically be 3 different ways that we distribute meals. At a campus, if students want to walk up to the campus, a lot like we did the curbside service during our break, or not break, but during the time that we were closed during the pandemic, I would say that students will be allowed to come back to the campuses and pick up meals that way. In addition, for the students that are face-to-face, we'll be offering breakfast in the classroom or lunch in the classroom, or however the principals decide to administer lunch there on the campus. But we've also partnered with our transportation department and Child Nutrition to deliver meals to the bus stops. So students that live farther away from the campuses can still receive meals, and we'll do that on Monday and Thursday. So breakfast and lunch for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will be delivered on Monday, and then on Thursday, breakfast and lunch for Thursday and Friday.
So the next question is, how will Adventure Club operate? Number of students allowed and seating areas. Most likely, Adventure Club would be able to start on September the 8th, keeping in mind that we continue to monitor everything. If and when we do start Adventure Club, there will be a certain number of students allowed per campus. It will not be the same for each campus, because each campus is at a different size. So depending on the size of the cafeteria, the size of the area where Adventure Club will be at, it'll vary between campus. What we will do is make sure that Adventure Club adheres to all social distancing and all COVID-19 safety precautions. At this time, we highly encourage you to please make sure that you register your child for Adventure Club if this is a program that you are interested in once our classes start for face-to-face instruction.
Is the blended option for high school still an option, or is it just remote and face-to-face? At this time, the district has decided that we are going to offer 2 learning platforms, and that is face-to-face and remote learning.
Are elementary students required to sit in front of the computer like it's a normal school day? Yes, elementary students, secondary students will be asked to log in to their virtual instruction through their computer. This connects with another question is, can they use their own personal laptops, or must they check out a Chromebook? We do have Chromebooks available for students who need them, but if you prefer to use your own personal computer at home, you're more than welcome to do so. But yes, the schedule will allow for certain times for the student to log in, listen to a live virtual lesson by their instructor, as well as opportunities for the student to log off and work independently on their assignments. We call this the asynchronous learning time. But please keep in mind that students have both opportunities to work on the computer as well as work independently as needed.
The next question is, how will Judson ISD give notification of new COVID-19 cases? I would tell you that if a student or a teacher is diagnosed positive with COVID, there's a host of things that we do on the campus to disinfect the classroom and to make sure the students are safe and quarantine them away from all the other people in the class. Once we determine that, contact will be made with the families, either through email, letter, some way. We will make sure that the families are contacted. We will quarantine that cohort of class, be it teacher and students or so on, and we'll make sure that they're notified in that fashion.
The next question is, Will remote learning be available until the end of the year if necessary? Yes. We are committed to providing remote learning if needed for the entire school year. We understand that some parents feel comfortable participating and having their child participate in remote learning up until the end of May. We are committed to continue to provide that.
The next question is it still going to be an AB schedule? At the high school, we are continuing with our 5-block schedule, and so we will not be having an AB schedule. The middle school will be offering an AB schedule.
The next question reads, what link or website will the students use to access their classes? Is there a grace period for turning in assignments? Once again, students will access all their classes through our learning management system called Canvas. Shortly before virtual instruction begins, your campus will send you and your student information on how to log on to our system and access all of their courses. The great thing is, it's a one-stop shop. Both parents and students will be able to log in, track their academic progress, receive feedback, submit assignments, listen to virtual recordings of their teachers. Yes, there is a grace period for turning in assignments. The great thing is that school day technically extends till 11:59 p.m. So that is the actual time through which students must submit their daily assignment. I will also let you know that there will be a daily checkpoint in every course that students must log in. This could be a simple question that they answer per course each day, and this will count for their attendance.
The next question is, once face-to-face begins, how will transition periods happen at the middle and high schools? So, contrary to what we used to do before, is have a start time and a stop time to a class, and once the bell rang at the end of class, all the students would go into the hallway and transition. There's going to be an attempt by the principals to group cohorts of students. So 9th graders may be in a specific part of the school, as well as 10th, and then 11th and 12th. In addition, we've also required the principals to put out a campus safety plan throughout the district, which should be on their websites as of today. And in it, it shows a format of the flow of traffic in the schools. So also for students, community teachers, they'll know how the flow of traffic is supposed to go throughout the campus as well. So much like the staggered or cascade completion at the end of the day, there'll be a staggered or cascade completion at the end of every class. So 9th grade may transition, then 10th grade, then 11th grade, and then 12th, which will keep the amount of students in the hallway decreased.
The next question is, what is the maximum number of students per class, face-to-face, for high school students? For all three, for elementary, for middle school, and for high school. At this time, there is not a certain number that we can tell you. There are various factors that will play into this. The size of the classroom, the subject matter, the content matter, and the specialty. Every classroom in all of our buildings are a different size. A size of the choir classroom is a different size than a math classroom. So each classroom will hold a different amount of students depending on the size. What we will do is to social distance, see how many students select face-to-face, and then be able to provide a safe environment for our students.
Will there be staggered times for middle school and for high school? For example, 6th grade starts one week and 7th grade starts another. No, there are not staggered times. All the schools will start at regular times. What the campuses are doing is that they are controlling the entrances of where students will be entering the building. And so in our campus safety plans that will be posted on our website, hopefully by tonight, you will find that the students will be entering through different entrances as far as the building is concerned. So the kids will be coming in and each one of them will be identified through which entrance they're coming in. So you really need to check your campus and check with your campus principal to see exactly which entrance each one of your students is going to walk through.
How can I learn more about Canvas so that I can help my student? Great question. We are offering parent online academies. Yesterday was actually our first one, and we thank all the parents that were able to log in. These online parent academies are virtual webinars in the evenings. They're going to be offered at least once every weeknight and two Saturdays per month. One of the upcoming webinars is how to navigate through Canvas. But please also keep in mind that just a few days before instruction begins, we will personally send you and your child instructions on how to access our learning management system and how to navigate through the basics.
Next question. How are we keeping athletes safe? For example, social distancing. I'm going to be straightforward with you. There's not a lot of social distancing that happens on the football field during a game. But I will tell you that during practice, we divide into cohorts. We have the linemen, the receivers, and they don't mix in between. Right now we have strength and conditioning camp, which really isn't our typical practice. So we're able to isolate coaches with a group of students. So if someone were to come back positive, it wouldn't infect the entire, or all the other people may not be affected. I would tell you that one of our, what we're doing as a safety measure is that they're getting the gaiters for all of the kids on the football team. So that'll be veterans, Wagner, and Judson. So they'll be able to pull up the mask even during a football game if they choose to do so. Also while on the sideline. But the goal is, through UIL, is that a student that's not actively participating in the athletic activity, that they have a face mask on during the event.
So the next question is, what would recess look like for elementary students? It could look in various ways. First of all, we would have to decide if it is truly safe to have a resource time. A recess time. If it is, recess would look differently than it would have prior to COVID-19. We will no longer be using items that are shareable, like as the playground equipment for right now. One thing that could possibly happen is that individuals bring their own things that they would like to use during recess. We would also be able to provide individual things that could be used, such as jump ropes, then sanitize them before another group uses the jump rope. In addition, it would be very unstructured free play time and absolutely no sharing of items. In addition, there would be no use of water fountains, and we are asking all students to please make sure that they bring a water bottle. The water bottle can be filled up at the school, but you will not be able to drink from the water fountain.
Our next question has to do with screening of our students. So the district has decided to do an electronic screening, and so all parents will be asked to screen their students on a daily basis before the student walks into the building. Any student that is 18 years and over can do the self-screening on their own. However, any student that is not over 18 years old will be required that the parent actually do the health screening. It will be electronic. We can actually provide you a QR code as well as a bit.ly that you can sign in your students. Yes, every parent has to do and complete a health screening on a daily basis for each child.
Will the STAR test be required? Yes. As of today, the STAR test is still required by the state. However, the SSI promotion requirement for 5th and 8th grade has been waived. What does that mean? Normally, our 5th and 8th grade students have 2 opportunities during the school year to take the STAR test, and if need be, a 3rd opportunity over the summer. But this time, that requirement has been waived, and our students in 5th and in 8th grade will only take the STAR test once.
Next question is, what about senior pictures? Where would other senior information be posted? Most of the senior information for all of the high school campuses should be posted at the website. I would tell you that they are currently in the process of trying to schedule a time for Life Touch or whomever the picture takers are to come in and then do individual appointments for the seniors to come in. They haven't really got around to that yet, but after speaking with the principal last night, they are working on getting that done. But information about the senior class and what's going to happen will most likely start to be posted as the school year begins.
The next question is, are Chromebooks required, or can students use their own laptop? Absolutely, students can use their own device. They can use their own laptop or their very own Chromebook. The school district will be providing a Chromebook for each student. When this occurred, COVID-19 first occurred in the spring, we issued only 1 device per family. At this time, every student in the family that is registered will be able to gain access to a device. But if you have a device that you want your child to use at home, that is your own laptop or your own Chromebook, that is perfectly acceptable. If not, please know that we will make available a Chromebook to each one of your children.
How will TAG students receive services? TAG students are talented and gifted students. They will continue to receive services just as they would on face-to-face. The students have actually been scheduled in each one of the campuses. It varies from campus to campus because of the simple scheduling of how English language arts and math is as far as the campus schedule is concerned. So the GT teachers will be sending out information through Canvas, through Google Classroom, and through Zoom. The students will receive a link and they will receive their lessons just as they would on a face-to-face.
For JSTEM specifically, will Canvas replace the Google Classroom? All assignments must be submitted through Canvas. Now, a teacher can use Google Classroom assignments and incorporate them into their Canvas course modules. But Canvas is our official learning management system. It is our official way of tracking virtual remote attendance. Therefore, Canvas will be the area where students will submit their assignments, log in every day into their classes.
How will restroom sanitation happen when kids are going in and out of them on the campus? I would tell you that what's going to happen different from last year is that rather than have students go in and out of the classroom when they have the urge to use the restroom, there's going to be scheduled breaks, especially at the elementary level, where they bring the classroom down to the restroom, social distancing. They'll go into the restroom, use the restroom, wash their hands, and then go back. We've scheduled for the custodians to go in and clean their bathrooms every 2 hours, but also they'll be wiping down the bathrooms in between these scheduled breaks when the students go down as well.
The next question is, can parents start in a virtual manner and then select face-to-face or vice versa? At any time, the parent may change their mind. We'd like to ask the parents to make a commitment and try to stay with that for at least 9 weeks. But we understand that things do change, so if you decide to start virtually and then need to go to face-to-face, that is perfectly acceptable, or vice versa. But things can change within the family. But also, please keep in mind that things could change for us, meaning that if somebody were to test positive, we would immediately notify that class and your child would immediately have to start to go virtual. So we are committed to making sure that we are very transparent and that we keep you informed. We also want you to know that we will continue to update our website on every Friday. We will also be sending a newsletter through our sources, which are social media, the website, and also Bright Arrow. If you are currently not receiving that information, we ask you to please let us know, because we did have our first parent newsletter that went home last Friday, and it was full of information, and we will continue to do that. Continuously, please check our website for more information. At this time, I would like to thank the parents for all your support, for your patience. We know that this time has been very difficult. We know that it's full of changes, and we know how important your child is to you because they're important to us too. We promise you that we will work diligently and continue to work diligently to make sure that your child is safe, but at the same time that they're provided a rigorous, engaging classroom experience. What we did last spring is not the same as what you will experience this fall. Our teachers have gone through lots of training. We've invested a lot in technology. We're committed to making sure that the level of engagement and the rigor is something very different than it was in the spring. We will continue to take questions next week as things get updated and as things change. But parents, sincerely, on behalf of myself and my colleagues here that joined me tonight, thank you for being with us. Thank you for the questions. Good evening.